Hi, this is Richard Davis, President Advisor of Team Room War, Hope, and Growth, and today I'm coming to you from Kyiv. I've been here about a week now, as this is the final destination on my trip before I begin working my way back home. But I was here to be able to meet with various organizations and individuals to be able to share about what I'm doing with Team Room War, Hope, and Growth here in Ukraine, but also to be able to hear about where they are at when it comes to working with the military and their combat veterans and their families. But I was able also to catch up some time with our friends, Julia and Sergey were here, be able to hug on their neck before they take off. We didn't have a lot of time together, but it was so good to see them. My wife and I have developed friendship with them over the years as we keep returning to Ukraine and being able to keep track of each other on social media. So it was fantastic to be able to see them before they left on there. But my time in Kyiv has been fantastic, is that I've been able to go to the Trauma Healing Institute as Victoria has been leading that as she is a director here in Kyiv, and just learning about what they are doing to be able to care for the military families, to care for the veterans when it comes to trauma and the impact of the war. Not just for the military, but also when it comes to the civilians, as here in Kyiv, which you have seen the reports in the news, is that Kyiv has withstood many attacks across this city as Russia just with the missiles and the drones that are coming in indiscriminately is terrorizing the people of this city. And so, but they have been doing incredible work, in which I met Victoria at Ukrainian Week earlier this year, is that I was invited to be able to give a presentation on the topic of resiliency and faith. Victoria was also speaking, and then we began talking, and she said next time I'm in Ukraine that I need to stop in Kyiv and be able to stop by her office. And so I was there for a day and a half and sharing presentations and be able to meet many of her staff there in Kyiv, but also in Lviv, and some other organizations and other individuals that are working on understanding trauma, to be able to work with those that are struggling, but also when it comes to helping churches. And so Victoria and her staff and the teams that she has assembled have been incredible. And so it was a privilege of mine to be able to be there, to be able to share on a few lessons, to have some discussions, and also be able to continue about going forward. So I have a meeting a little bit later on today where I'm going to be meeting back up with Victoria. And so we're going to go over kind of recapping where we were at with the lessons, but also about the future, what potential cooperation that we might have with her organization and what we're doing here with Team Room War, Hope, and Growth. But I also had the opportunity to be able to meet another couple. It was Alexei and Anastasia, as they are also doing retreats and helping the war fighters. So we had a great afternoon, a luncheon at a pizza company, and I tell you what, the pizza was fantastic. But I was able to hear their story and what they're doing, and being able to work with the veterans and their spouses. And so just being able to hear their story about what they're doing, and being able to encourage those that have been impacted because of this war. So we've been able to talk and share a little bit about what I do at Team Room, but then I also sent them a lot of the lessons so they can begin reviewing and picking through and what is going to work with the Ukrainian context. As I share with anybody and where I go, is that yes, I'm a combat veteran, but the combat experiences I have are different from what the Ukrainians are facing. And so what I teach in the United States amongst our combat veterans and amongst our churches is going to be a little bit different when it comes to Ukraine. And so I encourage them to be able to pick through the materials, take what's good, leave the rest, but to take it and make it theirs because it's for them. So that's why we're here. As I've had the opportunity to be able to come here, to be able to share these principles, and this is our 6th trip to Ukraine, and unfortunately my bride couldn't make it on this trip. But this is the 6th time that I've been to Ukraine to be able to share this from a lot of different places. So I have another meeting tomorrow, which I'll be talking with a church that is very interested. They have a large military ministry and chaplaincy, and they heard about what I'm doing with Team Room War, Hope, and Growth, and where I've been sharing these principles in the United States amongst churches, chaplains, and with seminaries, but also what I'm doing here in Ukraine. So I have a meeting tomorrow. It's my last one in Kyiv, and then I'll be working my way back towards Warsaw But I just wanted to be able to just share a little bit of what I'm doing and where I'm at as you continue to support and pray for Team Room More Hope and Growth, but also continue to support and pray for the people of Ukraine. Is that the attacks continue, the war continues. And even I shared with everybody that I've been talking with that even if the war ends today, there's still a lot of work left because of the soldiers that will be coming off the front line, the families that have been impacted, even people that will be that have left and sought refugee status will be coming back to Ukraine. So there's still a lot of ministry that will be taking place. And so anything that we're able to provide as Team Room More Hope and Growth and the lessons that we have to be able to help equip them, that's why I'm here. Is that I have the same that we're doing with the veterans and churches in the United States, in which I have 2 churches that are interested in the lessons, and then I'll be speaking with combat veterans later on this fall as I'll be going to Maryland. But this is what we want to be able to see, is that our combat veterans and their families are precious. They are the ones that have stood and answered the call of their nation. They have done what is expected of them in combat, and now they just come back with a little bit of some things, the memories, the residue as we like to call it, the residue of warfighting. How can we help that through the churches? How can we help that through treatments? How do we promote thriving in life after combat? So that's why the hope and growth is there as part of our name. But again, thank you for supporting Team Room More Hope and Growth. Thank you for allowing me to be able to come to Ukraine as this is getting ready to conclude my 4 weeks, a month being in Ukraine, from Zaporizhia to Cherkassa, Kremenchuk, and now in Kyiv. So thank you for what you allow me to be able to do, to share these principles from a Christian worldview, encouraging others to be able to say there is hope and there is growth. So thank you. Take care. Keep watching for more. I'm going to have a follow-on video once I get home about looking at everything that I had an opportunity to be able to be in Ukraine and all the different locations that I was at this last month. So again, thank you. Keep watching for more on Team Room Talk as I'm looking forward to getting back home and hanging out with the family. Take care. God bless.